Hi everyone, myself D. Ramadevi. My profession is teaching. Welcome to the NR Educational Tutorials. Today I am going to teach you about the digital signal processing. In that I have taken the topic is types of signals. So I am starting the subject is digital signal processing. Today I will give the introduction about the signals as well as types of signals. So this is the subject digital signal processing. Before going to digital signal processing, first we will learn about the what is meant by signal as well as types of this signal. So what is meant by signal? Signal is a physical quantity which carries some information. It is depending upon the independent variables. Here the signal is divided into four types here. First one is one dimensional, second one is two dimensional, next one is three-dimensional, next one is four-dimensional. What is these dimensions is nothing but if the signal is depending upon only one independent variable, then that is called as one-dimensional signal. For example, if I consider time, what are units for the time? Seconds. It is depending upon only one dimension. Okay, if the signal is depending upon the two independent variables, then that signal is called as a two-dimensional signal. For example, if I consider velocity, what are the units for the velocity? Meters per second. That is, it is depending upon the distance as well as time. So that is, we'll call it as a two-dimensional signal. If the signal is depending upon the three independent variables, for example, if I consider image measured in terms of pixels. So it is having the three coordinates, x coordinate, y coordinate and z coordinate. So that is, we will call it as a three-dimensional signal. Okay. Next one, we are having the four-dimensional. Generally, four-dimensional we are considering latitude, longitude, elevation and time. For example, in order to calculate the seismic signal, earthquake is coming or not, whether tsunami is coming or not, we are using the four-dimensional signals. So this is the introduction for this signal, what is meant by definition, and general cases one-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional and four-dimensional signals. So in the digital signal processing, the signals are further divided into continuous signals, next one discrete signals, next one digital signal. What is meant by continuous signal is the signal which is existing at every instant of time. So the continuous signal is also known as analog signal. Okay. Next, the continuous signal are converted into discrete signal by using the process of sampling here. In the discrete form, the signal is existing at different instants of the time. Okay. So this is nothing but discrete, and the discrete signal is converted into digital signal by using the process of quantization. Okay. In the quantization, we are using the truncation. Okay. So in the case of the digital signal, we are using the binary values zeros and ones. So what is our subject? Digital signal processing. So first we have seen about what is in my signal. Next we have moved to the digital signal, that is measured in terms of the binary values either in zeros or ones. Next we are going for the digital signal processing. The signal processing have two types. First one is analog signal processing. Second one is digital signal processing. What is meant by processing is nothing but changing the characteristics of the given signal here. If we consider the analog signal, we are changing the characteristics of the analog signal is nothing but analog signal processing. If we change the characteristics of the digital signal, that process is called as a digital signal processing here. So this is the introduction part of the digital signal processing of the name subject. So in the digital signal processing, today's topic I am considering the types of signals. Types of signals. So general cases we have seen about the continuous as well as discrete signal. These two signals are further divided into 5 types here. In that first type I am going to take here is, first one is deterministic and random signal. Deterministic and random signals. The name itself, if the signal is determined by using mathematical equation, then that signal is called as deterministic signal. If the signal does not expressed by using the mathematical equation, then that signal is called as random signal. For example, if you are having the signal is U of t. U of t is nothing but unit step signal. Unit step signal, it is having the range is 0 to infinity, having the range is value is 1. So this is nothing but continuous signal. Okay, we are expressed by using the equation U of t. So we can determine the future value from the present as well as the past values. And here we are having the pattern of the given signal is regular pattern. There is no uncertainty in the given signal here. Okay, if you go for the random signal, for example, if I consider noise signal. In the case of the noise signal, the pattern of the signal is irregular. There is a uncertainty in the given signal and it is not expressed by using the mathematical equation. I repeat once again, deterministic signal is nothing but it is determined by mathematical equation. The pattern of the signal is regular and there is no uncertainty in the given signal here. Okay, example is U of t. Random signal is nothing but we can't express by using the mathematical equation. The pattern of the signal is irregular. There is uncertainty in the given signal. Example is noise signal. This is the first type of the signal, and second type of the signal is even and odd signals. Okay. What is meant by even signal is nothing but it is also known as symmetrical signals. Odd signal is nothing but anti-symmetrical signal. The condition for even signal is x of t equal to x of minus t. The condition for odd signal is x of t equal to minus x of minus t. The condition for even signal is x of t equal to x of minus t for the continuous time signal. The condition for odd signal is x of t equal to minus x of minus t for the odd signal. If you go for the discrete, same thing, x of n equal to x of minus n, x of n equal to minus x of minus n for the odd signal here. So this is for the even and odd signal. Best example for the even signal is cos theta. That is cos of minus theta equal to cos theta. X of t equal to x of minus theta. And the best example for the odd signal is sin theta. Sin of minus theta equal to minus sin theta. So this is nothing but even signal as well as odd signal. If I have the signal, I want to calculate the even part as well as the odd part. What is the procedure I am going to take here is x of t. That is nothing but combination of two, that is even part of the signal as well as odd part of the signal. Let us consider this one as the first equation. I am replacing, in the place of t, I am replacing with minus t. Okay? X e of minus t. X e of t minus t is nothing but even signal. X of t equal to x of minus t. So x e of minus t as becomes same as this x of t. X e of t. X odd of t is nothing but x odd of minus t is nothing but minus x odd of t. Okay. Let us consider 1 plus 2 equation. Okay. Take the right side equations. What you will get here? X e of t plus x odd of t plus x e of t minus x odd of t equal to x of t plus x of minus t. What you will get here? Odd will cancel. 2 into x e of t equal to what you will get? X of t plus x of minus t. So what is the even part of the given signal? X of t plus x of minus t divided by 2. So if you know the given signal, in order to calculate the even part of the signal, this is the formula x of t plus x of minus t divided by 2. Even part of the signal you will get x e of t equal to x of t plus x of minus t divided by 2. Similarly, if you do the 1 minus 2, that is first equation minus second equation, what you will get here is 2 into x odd of t equal to x of t minus x of minus t divided by 2. So what is the final value? 2 into x odd of t equal to x of t minus x odd of t equal to x of t minus x of minus t divided by 2. So these two are the even and odd part of the continuous time signals. If you go for the discrete signal, x e of n equal to x of n plus x of minus n divided by 2. X odd of n equal to x of n minus x of minus n divided by 2. So what is meant by even? It is also known as symmetrical. Condition is x of t equal to x of minus t. It is antisymmetrical. X of t equal to minus x of minus t. One more example for the even signal is mirror image of the given signal. And for the odd signal is the example is water image of the given signal here. So this is the second type of the signal in the types of the signals. Okay. What is the third type of the given signal is? Third type of the signal is causal and non-causal signals. The condition for the causal signal is x of t equal to 0 for t less than 0 for the continuous time domain signals. If you go for a discrete signal, in the place of t we are substituting n. Okay, that is x of n equal to 0 for n less than 0. If you go for the non-causal signal, x of t equal to 0 for t greater than 0 and x of n equal to 0 for discrete for n greater than 0. Okay, I will take one example. If you go for the continuous time domain signal, for example, if you are having the signal is u of t. U of t is nothing but unit step signal having the amplitude is 1. So that is nothing but what we are having the amplitude of the u of t signal, that is continuous signal 1, 0 to infinity the range we are having. Okay, so what are the limits we are having? 0 to infinity. So 0 to infinity we are having the value for t less than 0, the value is 0 here. So that is we can say that the given signal u of t is causal signal. Similarly, if you are having the signal is u of minus t. U of minus t is nothing but the value of the unit step signal is amplitude is 1 but the limits as minus infinity to 0. For positive values of the t, the given signal is 0. So then this signal is called as a non-causal signal. These two are representation in the continuous times domain signals in the causal signal and non-causal signal. If you go for the discrete domain, x of n equal to, I am having the signal is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am placing the arrow mark is at 1. Arrow mark is represented is nothing but it is having the value is at 0. That is the value is at n equal to 0. This is at n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, n equal to 4. So that is x of 0 equal to 1, x of 1 equal to 2, x of 2 equal to 3, x of 3 equal to 4, x of 4 equal to 5. See the range of the n here. N range is from 0 to 4. Okay. So the range is positive is nothing but the given signal is we call it as causal signal. Okay. So for the negative values of the n, the given signal is 0. So it is existing only for the positive values of n. So then given signal is called as causal signal. If for example, if I am having the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I am placing the arrow mark is at 5. That is represents this is at n equal to 0. So left side means we have to consider the minus values. So the range of the n values is minus 4 to 0. Minus 4 to 0 is nothing but the signal is existing at n less than 0. So that is the signal is called as a non-causal signal. Then the signal is called as non-causal signal. This is the third type of the signals in the types of the signal. We will go for the fourth type of the signal. We are going to see in the types of the signal, that is periodic and non-periodic signals. What is meant by periodic signal is nothing but this signal which repeats after certain time period. When that signal is called as periodic signal. The condition for the periodic signal is for the time domain is x of t equal to x of t plus or minus capital T. Okay, which repeats after certain time period. This is nothing but time period, fundamental time period here. So this is calculated by using the angular frequency omega naught equal to 2 pi by capital T. So what is capital T you will get here is 2 pi by omega naught. Okay, this is in the case of the time domain. If you go for the discrete domain, what is the condition is x of n equal to x of n plus or minus capital N. Okay, when n is by using same formula, just we are considering the 2 pi by omega naught, that is multiplied with n. Okay, here depending upon m value, we are getting the value of n is integer value. Okay, so if it is not multiple of pi value, then that signal is called as a periodic signal here. Okay, if the signal does not satisfy this condition, then that signal is called as a non-periodic signal. If the signal is for the discrete signal not satisfying this condition is nothing but non-periodic signals here. Okay, for example, if I consider sine phi pi t, I wanted to calculate whether it is periodic signal or non-periodic signal. So this is in the form of sine omega naught t. What is omega naught? You will get phi pi. By using this one, okay, so omega naught is nothing but 2 pi by t. So 2 pi by t equal to what is the value? Phi pi. Okay, so what is t value you are getting? Phi by 2. That is 2.5 seconds. So we are getting integer value. So this is, we will call it as a periodic signal. Okay, same signal, if I go for the discrete domain, sine phi pi n, x of n equal to, that is in the form of discrete domain. What is omega naught? You will get phi pi. Okay, so what is n value you will get here? Omega naught by t. So that is nothing but what you will get here? 2 pi by omega naught, 2 pi by phi pi multiplied by n. Pi will cancel. So what is the value of m I am considering? 5. What is the n value we are getting? Integer value 2. Okay, so n is not multiple of pi. So then that signal is called as a periodic signal. If I go for another example, x of n equal to sine phi n. Okay, what is this one? You will get here omega naught equal to 5. By using this formula, what is n value you will get? 2 pi by phi n. This is not multiple of pi. So no need to find out the n value. So this is, we are not getting the integer value. So then the given signal, this is, we will call it as a non-periodic signal. This is, we will call it as a non-periodic signal. If I go for the another signal, for example, if I have the signal e power j pi by 4. Okay, I wanted to calculate whether it is periodic signal or aperiodic signal. Next signal, continuous signal, for example, x of t equal to e power j pi by 4 into t. I wanted to calculate whether it is periodic or not. From this equation, this is in the form of e power j omega naught into t. So omega naught, what you will get here? Pi by 4. This is in the continuous domain. So what you will get here? 2 pi by t equal to pi by 4. Pi will cancel. What is the t value? We got it here? 8 seconds. So that is periodic with the capital T equal to 8 seconds here. So what we have to remember here is, in the case of the periodic signal, the satisfying condition is for the continuous is x of t equal to x of t plus or minus capital T, where capital T is a fundamental time period. How to calculate capital T is 2 pi by omega naught. If we go for the discrete domain, x of n equal to x of n plus or minus capital N. What is n equal to 2 pi by omega naught multiplied with m. So this is the fourth type of the signal. In the types of the signal, we'll go for the next type of the signal. We are going for the next type of the signal, that is nothing but energy and power signals. What is meant by energy signal? Okay, if the signal is having the energy signal is nothing but, okay, so what is the condition for the energy signal is, energy is finite, that is in the range of 0 to infinity. For the energy signal, power is equal to 0. If you go for the power signal, the power is finite, that is in the range of 0 to infinity, and energy is infinite. If I consider energy signal, either it can be energy signal or power signal. That is, there is a mutually exclusive in between both energy and power signals here. So if I go for the energy for the continuous time domain signal, we are considering in terms of the integration. For the continuous representation, we are considering the modulus value square of the modulus values. The energy units are joules. Same signal, if I go for the discrete domain signal, in the place of integration, we are using summation. So what are the limits here? N equal to minus infinity plus infinity. Instead of x of t, you will get here mod of x of n. Okay. So same as this, in the case of the power, for the continuous time domain signal, limit t tends to infinity, 1 by 2t, integration minus infinity to infinity, minus t to t, mod of x of t whole square dt watts. If I go for the discrete domain, limit n tends to infinity, 1 by 2n plus 1, summation n equal to minus n to n, mod of x of n whole square. What are units for the power here? Watts. So here for the energy is finite, power equal to 0. For the power signal, power is finite, energy equal to infinity. If I take one example, I wanted to calculate whether it is even signal or power signal. Okay, what is the signal I am considering? X of n equal to 1 by 2 whole to power of n into E of n. I wanted to calculate whether it is even energy signal or power signal. So the given signal is discrete signal. For the discrete signal, for energy formula is summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity mod of x of n whole square. So same thing I am applying here. Energy equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity mod of x of n whole square. What is x of n? 1 by 2 whole to power of E of n. E of n is nothing but discrete domain unit step signal having the limits as 0 to infinity. So apply the limits here, 0 to infinity, x of n. What is x of n? 1 by 2 whole to power of n whole square you will get. So what you will get here? Summation n equal to 0 to infinity, 1 by 2 whole square whole to power of n. So what you will get here? Summation n equal to 0 to infinity, 1 by 4 whole to power of n. So this is just like the formula geometrical progression summation n equal to 0 to infinity a power n. N equal to 0, 1, n equal to 1, a square. Okay. So what is the formula you get? 1 by 1 minus a. Same formula I am applying here. 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4. That is 1 by 3 by 4. What is that? 4 by 3. What is the value? 1.33 joules. So what is the energy value? We got it 1.33. That is nothing but energy is finite. Okay. Similarly, we are calculating power. What is the power formula here? Limit n tends to infinity. 1 by 2n plus 1 summation n equal to minus n to n mod of x of n whole square. So P equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 summation n equal to minus n to n x of n whole square is nothing but 1 by 2 all to power of n whole square. So what you will get here? Limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 summation n equal to minus n to n. So instead of the minus n to plus n, here e of n is there. We have to consider 0 to n. So 1 by 4 all to power of n. We know the formula summation n equal to 0 to n a power n. What is the formula we are having? 1 by a to the power of n minus 1 by 1 minus a. Apply this formula here. What you will get here? Limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 1 minus a to the power of, in the place of a, what you will get? 1 by 4 by 1 minus 1 by 4. Finally, substitute n equal to infinity. 1 by infinity into something value. So 1 by infinity value equal to 0. So by considering these values, energy value 1.33 joules, that is we got the value of finite value. What is the power value? Got it? 0 watts. Energy is finite, power equal to 0, then that given signal is called as energy signal. So like this we have to calculate whether it is even energy signal or power signal here. So what are the types of signals we have seen here is, first one is deterministic and random signal, second one is even and odd signal, next one is causal and non-causal, next one is periodic and aperiodic signal, next one is energy and power signals here. So this is an introduction for the types of signals. In the further classes we will see the problems on these signals here.